support a family, we need schools and great teachers that are going to push our kids to the limits, all of their limits. They understand this. They understand that in order to be all that they can be, your kids need to be healthy, your families need to be healthy, so you need health coverage that you can afford. These are all things that we as women, people who run our families, worry about our budgets, worry about our finances. We think about all day, every day. Sometimes we don't sleep because we're thinking about it. They understand these things. And it takes somebody who's humble and honest and sincere, like my husband Anthony, who's really committed to this state and to the people of this state. I remember when he 8 years ago that he wanted to run for the House of Delegates. Actually, he told me when we first met in law school that he was going to be a senator or something one day, and I said, okay. So I was forewarned. But I have to believe, I do believe truly that it is the highest and the best use of Anthony's talents, because he's really done a terrific job in the legislature for all of you, and I know that he'll continue to do that as Lieutenant Governor of this state. So without further ado, I introduce to you my husband, Anthony Brown.
Rebecca's having fun, that still counts, okay. Well, let me tell you, first of all, I just want to publicly thank my wife, not for the introduction, which, thank you very much, and thank you very much, Pat Orswaga. But also, Patty and I have been together 14 years, met in law school. Now Patty, I graduated law school. She carried me in so many ways, and yes, and through the years, as I was trying to chart out a course in public service, we inspired one another, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, as we built our family with our children, which quickly surpassed the importance of our 2 dogs that we had when we first got married. When you're together and you have dogs, you always talk about your dogs, and you have children, you always talk about your children. When I was called to service 2 years ago, about 2 years ago today, to serve our country in Iraq, that was a real challenging and difficult time for our family. And yeah, I thought a little bit about what I was getting into, but my bigger concern was my family and leaving them without their father and their husband. And because when you go downrange, you know what you're getting into. It's a family that's back home that doesn't really understand sometimes what's going on. There's a lot of anxiety. But because of my wife, who is so strong, I was fortunate enough to come back to a family that was intact, both physically and emotionally. So for that, Patty, thank you very much. A very strong wife, both in the home and in the workplace, and rely a lot on her. I want to thank the organizers, the sponsors, the sponsoring committee for all your work, your effort in putting this together. Yolanda and Charlene, thank you very much for your many hours in pulling this together. What a wonderful event this has been. Women of Maryland, not just Baltimore, I've seen Anne Arundel, Prince George's County, Hartford, Howard. Once you start, where do you stop? It's great to be among you. I see so many talented and what a diverse group of women, age and ethnicity and religion, the talent that we have, the diversity we have. So I want to thank you very much for being who you are. As we stand here this evening on this beautiful summer night, I want to tell you that Martin O'Malley and I, standing with my wife, his mother, our daughters, and our sisters, and our friends. That was sisters, right? We are committed to you as women. We are committed to the families that you support, the families that you care for, the families that you fight for. And we are going to be there every step of the way, fighting for you, fighting for Maryland's families. And we understand, and I don't have to rattle it off because you know too, the challenges, the obstacles, the ceilings, call it what you want, that you face in society, in business, in government. We stand here to tell you that every Marylander, man and woman, will be enabled for their potential to be fulfilled in an O'Malley Brown administration. Thank you very much for what you do. We're going to fight for Maryland families. We're going to fight for affordable health care, affordable college tuition. We're going to fight for safe neighborhoods to send our kids in, to sit out on the front porch. We're going to fight to fully fund the Thornton K through 12 education. And we're going to fight for those small women and minority-owned businesses. Patty was right. When I came home from Iraq, I began to think what I was going to do in public service. Got a lot of emails when I was overseas. I said, wait, hold on, let me focus on my mission. When I come home, I'll think about it. And I was honored when my friend, Martin O'Malley, asked me to be his running mate. So, well, who is this man, Martin O'Malley, and what is he doing in our city, Baltimore City? So we sat down and we talked about a shared vision, a shared value, expanding the middle class and extending opportunities to more Marylanders. But I had to look at the record in Baltimore. And what I saw was pleasing in my sight. And it made sense. A school system that saw graduating rates 6 years ago in the low 40s. Today, 63% of Baltimore students graduate. And we're not done yet. A city that was seeing a declining population for 30 years. Last year, 5,000 people came back to Baltimore. This year, 10,000. And that's because it's a city that is experiencing a decline in violent crime by 40% in the last 6 years, and new private investment in the tune of $10 billion. And that's Martin O'Malley. He hasn't done it alone. He's done it in partnership with so many of you. But when I came back home, after that discussion, I said to Patty, I'm going to run. But it's a family decision. And she asked me, well, why are you running? I said, I'm running for Maryland. I'm running for that 11-and-a-half-year-old black boy who's in foster care, and he's been so for 4 years. And with each passing month, the chance of being reunited with his family, his permanent family, drops off every single month. And the chance of being placed in a permanent loving home becomes less and less, and that's why I'm running. I'm running for that school teacher here in Baltimore City who is still having to write a check out of his or her personal checking account to pay for school supplies and is seriously considering moving to Pennsylvania for better compensation. And that's why I'm running. And he sat down, my wife, she says, Anthony, let's go for it. So we're rolling up the sleeves, we're working with you, and we're going to go out and win this thing. And what I'd like to do now, because we're talking about working families and supporting one another, I want to introduce and bring to the stage a person who has fought for working families her entire career, has fought for women her entire career, has fought for Maryland. We are blessed to have a champion for Maryland in the nation's capital, a role model not just for women but for men, our very own Senator Barbara MIKULSKI.
Everybody. Well, twilight comes to the city, but twilight's coming to the Ehrlich administration. And a new day is about to be born. I'm so enthusiastic about the O'Malley Brown ticket. How about you? To be Democratic Women for Change. Democratic Women for Change. We need to change the agenda. We need to change outcomes. And most of all, we need to change who is governor of the state of Maryland. We know people say, well, you've got all those women here. Is it about gender We say it's not about gender, it's about the agenda. And we know that every issue is a woman's issue. Am I right? So we need Democratic Women for Change. We need a checklist for change. We need to have the leadership that says, who's going to fight to keep jobs in the United States of America? Who's going to fight to give us health care at any age? Who's going to fight to give us public schools that we can count on? And who's going to fight for the freedom to achieve? The freedom to achieve. That means access to higher education, where we spend as much on our educational system as we send on our prison system. We need the freedom to achieve. So this is why I'm for O'Malley and O'Malley Brown. They have the right stuff. And we know that they're going to do the right thing. I'm so proud of this young man who's running for lieutenant governor. Aren't you? For us. I can see you're a checklist for change lady, right down to your heart and soul. And we're proud of, what about this wonderful young man? Here he is with his great background, his wonderful law degree, a member of the House of Delegates, a rising star. But guess what? He was called to duty. They needed him to go to Iraq to be a JAG officer, to make sure we're looking out for our troops. Well, anybody else would have sought a waiver. How about Dick Cheney? He got 5 waivers. He never went to that. Well, you know, George, he was in the National Guard. You know what George did? Instead of flying for the freedom of his country, he said he needed a waiver so he could go to Alabama and campaign. Well, Anthony Brown didn't ask for a waiver so he could campaign. Anthony Brown went and stood up for this country. He answered a call for duty, and he will answer your call and the call for Maryland to do his duty. And he'll never be in an undisclosed location. And of course, there's our Martin O'Malley. There he is with his great mom. We've met the women, the O'Malley women, his daughters, his family. And now you've got to know Martin is just the best. I've known Martin for more than 20 years. When I was running for the Senate for the first time, I hired him to be my field director, and now I want you to be the gubernatorial nominee. And I hired him because I'll tell you what I saw with him. I knew him when he had more law books than he had ties. And I knew when he was chasing votes and chasing Katie, and I didn't know what he was doing half the time. But I do know this, because I will tell you what I saw in him then, I've seen him in him every day, and I see now. This is a young man with idealism and passion about public service and doing the public good. This is about a young man with integrity. He will never sell off the public lands or do deals with cronies. You can be sure that the O'Malley administration will be an honest administration. And we like his initiative to try new things. But most of all, it is his unabashed, unwavering support to stand up for the little guy or the little gal, whether it was to get a better deal for your gas and electric rates or to make sure he could do what he could to keep your home fires burning. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you someone who I believe will be a Democrat for change, Martin O'Malley, the next governor, with his fantastic, charismatic
Ladies and gentlemen, the star of television, Barbara O'Malley, my mom. inspiration, a woman who taught me everything important in life, and a woman who answers the phones and constituent calls every single day for the greatest U.S. Senator in the United States of America, Barbara MIKULSKI. You know, I want to, by way of segue, we have a few people that I want to announce. They are the Orphans Court judges who are here today. Joyce Baylor Thompson, Karen Friedman, and Lewin Garrett, who are all here. And the reason I say by way of segue is this. You know, they can be here because they are running for election. Judges who are running for election are able to come to political events. Judges who just have the misfortune of being married to people running for election are not able to come to political events. So district court judges can't do that. So that's why my wife can't be here. I probably shouldn't even mention her name. Katie and I have 4 great kids. 2 of them are here today. Outstanding young women, Grace and Tara Malley. Let me just say, I cannot tell you how great you all look from up here. And also every deck below this ship. On every deck, the first one, the second one, the third one up here. I feel like just taking the ship out there, going to Annapolis, and ending the election right now. Storming ahead. My goodness, I have not been around so many strong women all gathered in one place since I left the house this morning. My sister Eileen O'Malley Shep is here today as well. Let me just share a few thoughts with you. The first thought is this. Thank you so much. Each of you, as I've spoken with you, are powerful, powerful people with powerful networks. So many of you have taught me so much in the course of my growing up. I saw Vera Hall. Where is Vera? There's Vera Hall, former leader of the vice president of the Baltimore City Council. Vera said, "I mothered Martin when he didn't want mothering." And so many of you have helped me through life, Senator MIKULSKI and so many of you, too numerous to mention. I don't want to leave anybody out. Let me just share, let me also thank Anthony Brown and Pat for the tremendous job, and Rebecca, that they are doing on this campaign. We had a terrific day today. We were endorsed by the Maryland State Teachers Association. As we travel around our state, for those of you that are accustomed to Democratic campaigns and some campaigns in the past where we hunkered down in 1 or 2 jurisdictions, rest assured that Anthony Brown and Martin O'Malley and Barbara MIKULSKI and every one of you are going to campaign in all 24 jurisdictions of Maryland. And what I'm finding, and what Anthony is finding as we travel around our state, is something that we found was true, Maryland, here in Baltimore, which is that there is more that unites us than divides us. We run to strengthen and grow our middle class and our family-owned businesses. We run in order to improve public safety and public education in every corner of our state. We run to expand the opportunities of learning, of earning, of enjoying the health of the people we love, as well as the environment and the bay that we love, to more people rather than fewer. And why do we do these things? We do these things because of the important beliefs that all of our mothers and fathers taught us at one time or another when we were young. And that is to believe in the dignity of every single individual, to believe in the responsibility of advancing the common good, and to believe that at the beginning and at the end of our days, there is a unity to spirit and to matter, and that what we do in our short time here on the planet does in fact matter. That is why we run. We need your help. We need your help in engaging with your neighbors in a common sense conversation, not with anger, but with truth. And you know what, folks? The facts are stubborn things. And we want you to ask your neighbors questions like this. Do we make our state a stronger and better place for our middle class when our governor vetoes a minimum wage, a bill that raises the minimum wage by a modest amount? Or do we make our middle class stronger and better when we make college education more affordable, not less, and when we raise the minimum wage? Do we make progress on education by drawing lines in the sand, by saying my way or the highway, by using No Child Left Behind to pull the skids out from under school progress? Or do we do it with collaboration, cooperation, respect, and partnership with our teachers and our school administrators? Now, we can have a do-nothing governor for 4 more years who shrugs his shoulders when 160,000 fewer Marylanders have health care. Or we can roll up our sleeves, engage with one another, find ways for small businesses to cover their employees, find ways to expand health care, find ways to make it possible for people who are not vaccinated to become vaccinated. The problems that confront us, I was about to say, are man-made. But their solutions are found by men and women. Anthony and I need your help. The people of Maryland need your help. We run for the 80-year-old woman whose husband won the Second World War and whose president now wants to cynically shake her off of Medicare prescription coverage. We run for the teachers throughout Maryland who had it in their heart to teach special ed and now find their spirit being crushed by No Child Left Behind. We run for working moms and dads who watch from afar while their governor vetoed minimum wage, but he was ready to let all of us get gored by the twin horns of a Wall Street merger and a 72% rate increase. We run for Maryland. We run for the men and the women of Maryland. My friends, I leave you with this. I know in these scary times when we go home and we watch CNN and see the things happening around the world, when we hear people saying that these are all signs that the world might even be coming to an end, when we see difficulties around us, I know that some people see those as signs of despair and signs to give up hope. And I ask you not to do that, but instead to dig deep and to realize that we are a great people, that our diversity is our strength. The compromise is not a dirty word. It is how a free and diverse people find a way forward together. And that way will be lit not by confrontation, not by lines in the sand, not by war, but by truth about ourselves, by understanding, by compassion, by a realization that the choices we make determines what sort of a planet we leave to our children. And Maryland must lead the way. That is what we have done at critical times in our country's history. That is what we are going to do with your help once again come this November. God bless you, the women of Maryland. Thank you. Your platform.
Anthony Brown. I'm running for Lieutenant Governor with Mayor Martin O'Malley. He's the mayor of Baltimore, compassionate public servant. He's running for governor to be your next governor. I'm running with him. Yeah, hey Baltimore, what a great time it is downtown here on the Bay Lady in the Inner Harbor. Nice skyline of a beautiful city that's making a lot of progress in so many areas. We're there to support you. It's our city, it's Maryland City.